Yes, yes, yes. Peace, people, peace. Yeah, just wanted to quickly drop a few thoughts, and I guess everybody talking about Shakur and he bad performance. I mean, the whole thing was a bit weird, right? So you have the boxing card on a Thursday. I know boxing is usually on a weekend time, Friday, Saturday. Friday or Saturday, I see boxing most of the time. Even though they used to go, I think was it Tuesday night fights or Thursday night fights? But that was back in the day. That was back in the day. And I just realized people now decide that I didn't watch the Shakur fight. I didn't get to watch. I watched Abdullah, and then I had to go to bed. I wake up the next day, and just to check and see how Shakur did and everything. And yeah, the internet setting, Stevenson on fire. Oh, he washed up, he a bum, he's scared, he this. I'm like, wow. Then somebody showed me, I think it was Black Horseman, show me the punch stats. Low punch stats, Bridget. Between the two of them, I think it was like under 100 or something. I think under 100, I think so. But it was really low between the two of them. I think one of the issues is Shakur talk a lot of shit. He talk a gang of shit. So that tends to draw more attention to your performances. Because you want that. When you talk a lot of shit, that means you want people to come watch you, and people need to come watch this and do this. And then you put on a performance like that. And that's just how it goes. You have a bad performance, but it seemed like it was really, really bad. What's up, Tahaka? What's going on, Reggie? Yeah, man. So it was just strange to me how bad of a performance it was. Come out that, people, Bob Arum saying, yeah, he had a arm injury or something. I think it was his shoulder, his hand, or something was injured. So I guess saying, he was fighting one-handed. I feel people on the internet saying he was fighting one-handed. But I think what's most interesting is how Shakur's performance somehow uplifts Tank Davis. And this is a mistake that boxing fans don't seem to be able to get away from. We keep making the same mistake over and over. If fighter A doesn't look good or loses, must mean fighter B would destroy fighter A. And then we start making a hypothetical fight and making a hypothetical result if fighter A would have fought fighter B. Don't walk like that. Tank Davis. Sorry. All of a sudden, Tank Davis because one thing, Tank Davis fans will tell you, Tank Davis wins every single fight ever. Tank Davis wins every single hypothetical fight in the history of boxing history. Tank Davis would beat every single person, everybody, Duran, all these people. Tank would walk through these people, blah, 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 all this dumb shit. So I'm not really here to dump on Shakur Stevenson's performance. I think people have done that enough themselves, and I think he also said it was a bad performance. I didn't like his attitude about, if you don't like how I fight, then don't effing watch. But okay, if that's the attitude, cool. But what I really want to talk about is the mistake that boxing fans keep making, that Tank Davis would do this to Shakur and he would have done this. And I listened to a guy, I think was on Nestor Gibbs' show, the Boxing Voice, and the guy basically created an entire fight in his head of what Tank would have done. Tank would have been there for the counter, and he would have done this, he would have slipped that, and he would have been too aggressive for him, and he would have. I'm like, bro, how you know all this? How you know all this? Keep making the same mistakes. Shakur don't look good in his last fight. That must mean Tank would destroy Shakur. Tank Davis was never fought not a goddamn body. Tank Davis, who won was it one actual belt in his entire career. Tank is almost 30 years old. 30 years old. It's just it's real strange how we keep making these assumptions and creating these formulas in our own head to justify our own sometimes delusions. Until Tank Davis fights somebody worth a damn, you can't make these kind of assumptions. You can't make these assumptions. Okay, Shakur is a WBC champ now. How about Tank Davis, the A side of the world? Because everybody knows there's nobody that can A side Tank. Tank is the A side to everybody. I don't know why. The fact that Tank Davis is so popular speaks to just how easy people are to absorb bullshit. A man who doesn't fight anybody. His last win was against a YouTuber in Ryan Garcia, and had to dehydrate that YouTuber down to nothing. I'm supposed to believe that Tank Davis somehow is this monster, and he would just destroy Shakur because Shakur didn't look good against Edwin. So it must mean Tank Davis would listen. You can't use other people's failures and other people's mediocre showings on a particular night to back up your delusions about a hypothetical fight. Now all of a sudden, I see people saying, "Hey, I don't want to even see Tank versus Shakur because Tank gonna wash him." How you know that? How you know that? Peace, boxing God. Peace. How you know Tank would wash him? That's in your head. Tank Davis is the only fighter that nobody demands that he actually has to fight somebody. We just give him the win automatically. He'll just blow everybody out. Tank Davis would blow everybody out. He would destroy everybody. He don't need to do none of this. For real. Just like that. This is like when Andy Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua. And people were like, "Oh man, Wilder would have destroyed Anthony Joshua." Joshua done. Wilder shouldn't even fight him no more. It's like, bro, you can't make these assumptions. You don't know what would happen if these two actually fight. So now Shakur Stevenson is done. Apparently, he's washed and he's garbage now. And Tank Davis will just destroy him. Boxing people keep making the same ridiculous leaps. That's okay, boxing God. Yeah, that's okay. But if Shakur fights like that against some of these people, Shakur would probably win an ugly decision. But he'll still win. It's not my favorite cup of tea. I didn't watch the fight. I watched Abdullah Mason and I went to bed. I didn't watch the fight. Shakur isn't, I'm not against Shakur, but I'm also not like a super fan, I watch his fights when they're on. I don't really catch a lot of ESPN fights too much in my market. I have to like use like VPN or whatever to catch like ESPN USA to watch ESPN fights. Yeah, but Ryan's a dummy though. Ryan is a guy who functions off of emotions, not brain. He's just a dummy. He's just a guy who that's why he has them ugly tattoos, because he's impulsive. He's an impulsive kid who doesn't listen and doesn't understand. Ryan Garcia basically sold himself to Tank Davis's team so he could get knocked out. Everybody knew what was going to happen. Everybody knew. Yeah, he is a bit overcautious. But what I'm saying is you can't make them leaps about what Tank would do and wouldn't do if he fights Shakur. Then go ahead. Since Shakur Stevenson is this chinny coward, all of this, Tank Davis, the A side of the world, needs to then send Shakur Stevenson an offer and go ahead, knock him out, take his belt. Let's see it. Because this is supposed to now be easy work. This is supposed to be the type of fight that Tank would be rushing to, because, oh, this is easy work. This guy's a bum. You know who Tank's going to fight again? Isaac Cruz, or one of these people. And Shakur is going to fight some mandatory or who you don't care about, because boxing fans know are somehow going to tell these two people that y'all don't need to fight. Why they need to fight? Tank would just knock him out. You don't see how he runs from punches? Boxing fans are now under these two social media. And we know these dudes nowadays are controlled by social media. They get their strength and their opinions from social media. So if enough social media people tell them they don't need to fight, they're not going to fight. So Tank's people are telling him, no, you don't need to fight Shakur. You don't need to fight Shakur. You're already the best. You're already the A side. You just knock him out in a couple of rounds. he a coward. This is the type of shit that boxing fans do, and then complain that we're not getting the fights that we want. Listen, man, these people need to actually get in the ring and fight each other so we can have actual real results on records, on BoxRec. BoxRec don't rate people, don't put wins or losses based on social media delusions. Yeah, but that's him though. Very impulsive, very stupid. So I want y'all boxing fans to stop going on the Shakur's social media, stop going on the Tank social media, telling these two they shouldn't fight each other just because, look at how he looked. You don't have to fight him, Tank. You're already the 8th side. We gonna support you no matter what bum you fight. And Shakur, you don't need to fight Tank. Tank's gonna knock you out. Just stay where you are. Stay away from Tank. What's wrong with y'all? Again, I'm only hearing how bad the fight was. I have to go watch the fight. But most people are frying this dude, and probably he deserves to be fried. You can't talk all that shit. All that shit. Talk all that, how everybody ducking you, how everybody doing this, how you the king, you the this. You got Andre Ward and Floyd Mayweather. You got Tim Bradley riding your, whatever. You got all these people in your corner. And then you go in there and throw up a goose egg in the ring. A goose egg in the ring. Awful. If what people are saying are accurate, it was a goose egg. I didn't watch the fight. Maybe it's a good thing because I'm not trying to hear none of that shit about they don't need to fight. Y'all gotta stop this shit going on Twitter and on these damn boxing lives talking about, oh, we don't need to see the fight. We know what's gonna happen. No, we don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know what's gonna happen. The only person doing any real shit out of all these young dudes is Devin Haney. And that's the truth. People don't like Devin because he's doing real shit. Devin Haney, and I'm not gonna lie, Teofimo. I saw someone say Devin Haney ran to 140 to avoid smoke at 135. What smoke at 135? Devin Haney is the undisputed champion at 135, or was. How do you avoid smoke when you got all the belts? All. It means you beat the best of the division. Devin Haney he's now at 140 fighting Regis Prograis in a couple of weeks. And somehow that's running from 135. Okay. Well, if y'all said Shakur ran from this Edwin guy, would he have run from Regis? Probably. Tank Davis don't fight nobody at 140 unless it's a Mario Barrios. Had to dehydrate Ryan Garcia and wouldn't have dared fight Regis Prograis. Because remember, Regis Prograis was over at the PBC for a little while, I think. He had a couple of dealings with them, I think, for a while. And at any point in time, he could have fought Regis. Regis was right there. He could have fought Regis. Didn't. Devin's fighting him. Oh, Devin running from smoke at 135. What smoke? Ain't no smoke at 135. Teofimo Lopez left 135 and beat Josh Taylor. Yeah. Shakur has some fans that so you see these people on social, and now it's like, don't worry about him, young God. You ain't got to do that. It's a sweet science, baby. You know what I mean? He's hit and not get hit. Let me tell you something. It's going to be a cold, cold day when no one wants to fight you because it's not going to be a good fight. It's going to be a cold day when Shakur, who might be very elusive, but there's a difference between elusive to me and running from the action. Ask somebody like Lerone Richardson in the UK, who's another slick boxer, who has now been bounced from promoter to promoter to promoter because no one wants to watch him fight. No one wants to watch him fight. Demetrius Andrade had a belt for a long time, slick guy, but no one wanted to watch him fight. You know who else might get into that reputation? Richardson Hitchens. Very skilled guy, but he gonna have to be careful that he don't turn into a unanimous decision machine, just a UD merchant. A UD merchant, just every fight is a 12-round UD, 12-round UD, 12-round UD. Shakur, same thing. Might turn into a UD decision. I mean, decision guy. Just Every fight you already know, oh, this is going to be another 12-round decision, 12-round decision. Yes, it's boxing, hit and not get hit, but people also want to see you now and then take a chance and try and get. If people see at least you try and get a guy out of there and you're doing damage to this guy, but the guy is just tough, then people will get it. Everybody's not this big concussive puncher, but you can't be a guy. You at least got to show people that you doing your very best to at least make the referee stop the fight. And Shakur don't do that. Shakur just seems to be comfortable keeping at least 2 arms length from his guy. And he needs to understand that nobody wants to watch that. Nobody wants to watch that. And promoters are in a business of promoting excitement, entertainment. You can be an entertaining boxer. Pernell Whitaker was an entertaining boxer. You're going to turn into a UD machine. Andre Ward was another guy people didn't really care to watch. I'm sorry. People are lying if they said, oh, I couldn't wait for the next Andre Ward fight. Andre wasn't an exciting fighter. He was a good fighter, solid fighter. There was no guy who was really exciting. No one cared. That's where it comes from, you see. So Tank Davis can traffic on being entertaining because he can be entertaining against the people he's fighting against. Because who is he fighting against? Nobody. Nobody. I just want y'all to stop going on these people's social media page and killing the fight before the fight even happens. You have delusions of this person's probable ability to stop anybody in the world. Well, that's your delusion. Stop trying to kill the fight before the fight happens. Stop. I don't like boxing fans like this. Instead of saying, well, Tank, since you think Shakur is a bum, that should be an easy fight to make. Go over there and knock this bum out. It's not like Tank Davis got no broadcaster to fight on. He don't have no broadcaster. Showtime dead. Fox is gone. So go over there and see if you can make a fight with ESPN. But nah, that ain't gonna happen, right? Because according to everybody else, these fights don't need to happen because he will just knock him out. So he don't need to happen. Shakur is gonna run. You don't know what would happen. But anyway, that's just my little bit of thoughts. Y'all boxing fans are delusional. You can't use somebody else's bad performance to raise another fighter's profile who wasn't in the fight with the other fighter. Y'all gotta stop that shit. That's ridiculous. Stop that shit. Y'all have a good day, man. Peace.